All right, here we go. Got another New England Patriots 2026 NFL draft target. Got some time to go over Antonio Williams, a phantom wide receiver from Clemson. So he was one of my top 10 tags going into the season. This is before the college season even kicked off. I had him circled along with him and Jordan Tyson as like my 1-2 fit that are potential first rounders. So I felt like he could be an option for the Patriots at some point, right? Early in the first round, or maybe move up, get him in the second. Well, Antonio's media draft stock, so what we see on the draft boards and the draft gurus, it's dropped. Why? Well, I don't know if it's his fault, but entering the year, Clemson itself was carrying a legitimate national championship expectation, right? There was projections that, hey, the offense gets some stability. These guys can contend. Their defense was supposed to be phenomenal. You know, they have plenty of talent on that side of the board, and there's plenty of guys that will probably be drafted by Clemson this year on the defensive side of the ball, with including like 2 or 3 guys in the first round. So this team was loaded skills-wise, talent-wise. But it's interesting, although, you know, the team broadly, the outcome ultimately fell short of those aspirations, but Williams, like, his individual evaluation really didn't change. In fact, his film only reinforced what we were seeing over the first 3 years. I mean, this is for a third consecutive season. He's produced at a very high level despite the offensive consistency. And continuing to separate, he's got precision in his route running, wins in leverage-based situation. I mean, for Klubnik, he was definitely a friendly target and hit on all 3 levels. Sustained, context-independent production produced all 3 years. And that's why I think he still holds up. I think he's kind of, underrated, or I don't want to say he's not a sleeper, obviously, but, unjustifiable drop in his stock price or stock valuation. And yeah, maybe it's because people will just see him and say, yeah, NFL slot receiver, he's 5'11", 190. But he's a good chain mover. He's got some special teams value. And other teams can see him like that. But I think the Patriots, if you dig in with the film and the analytics, they shouldn't peg him like that, because he's a reliable, short and deep, but really strong in the intermediary. Great target there, but he can work some outside. He can work, obviously, X. He's a good boundary threat, right? So, honestly, it's probably a little bit more than just a slot guy, because he kind of carried that offense for, at least the passing side of it. He's got over 200 career receptions, over 2,300 receiving yards, 21 career touchdowns, and the big thing is this guy's consistent. Caught a pass in 33 consecutive games. So consistent production, but also 33 consecutive games as a wide receiver. He's durable. This guy hasn't missed time. This is exactly what you want to be looking for in a receiver. He's a good technical route runner. Excels at nuanced, crisp routes. He's got good footwork that consistently creates separation, and it's subtle, right? It's not like he doesn't have to do... We always talk about this every single year. We talk about how people go down in the Senior Bowl and they just their body's just twitching all over the place. And it's like, great, you're making these big moves. You're showing that you have the ability to create separation when you're doing one-on-one with the corner, where you have the whole field to move around and there's no pass rush and the quarterback's just sitting back there you can finally get open. It looks good. It's great for TikTok, the TikTok routes that we like to talk about. But do you get to your spot on time? And if the move didn't work, are you capable of doing a contested catch? Or if you can just get one step on the guy, for most good quarterbacks, that's enough to throw it in there. So this guy is going to work. He's going to be great at short to intermediate windows, good change of direction quickness, tempo variations. Awesome. You don't see it that often unless you stare at all the 22, but he disrupts defenders. The thing is, doesn't matter if it's man or zone. Doesn't matter. He's effective against both. Reliable hands, good body control. Again, it's reliable. And the thing is he goes up in some of these situations, he makes adjustments on the ball. It's like, oh, that's going to be, and he makes it look easy. He goes up for the ball and you're holding your breath, and it's like, oh, he made that look way too easy. Great in contested catch situation. The high point adjustments, perfect. It's going to look great. I mean, I think he's going to the combine, so I'm sure on some of those on-field drills, there's going to be some highlights from him. So the thing why I point that out is he's got great vert. And for a guy who's 5'11", which isn't like ultra short, but not like 6'4", he makes it up with great hands, a pretty decent wingspan for his size, but the vert and the body control, the high point, it's beautiful. So it shows up, especially on off-target throws, which, Klubnik wasn't exactly the most accurate quarterback in the world. He's got good football IQ, easily identifies coverage and leverage spots, finds good spots against the zone, reacts to defensive looks. Again, being that quarterback-friendly receiver, he's great in timing offenses. Again, that's going to be perfect for the Patriots. Great vision. Guy does a lot of screens, does a lot of bunch sets. Guy does a lot of screens. You can tell that when he gets the ball, he's got good vision, quickly finds a route and acts on it. And he consistently eludes first contact. That's another thing. Turns medium games into chunk plays. He's got good hip fluidity, good spatial vision. Another thing what I'll point out is the versatility here. Not just like, hey, can he possibly work as an X or a Z or in the slot? I mean, the fact that this guy can work not only the multiple alignments, but in bunch sets. He's used in motion. Big thing is a ball carrier. Does a lot of end arounds and sweeps, orbit motion. Also some wildcat is thrown in there. So capable of alignment across multiple receiver spots, though, again, most comfortable probably inside. And again, I'll say, the special teams, he's a good punt returner. I think with the modern NFL kickoff, he might even be a good kick returner. You can see that he's got strong decision-making in those situations. Honestly, in all these things, he kind of makes it look easy. He kind of just slips through. He has a way of just getting by people, right? And that's why I call him like a phantom, because defenders rarely feel him until the ball is already away. He's not, separating with raw speed. I think he's probably going to be in the 4.4, so he's obviously fast enough. But he's not just overpowering. Instead, he's like manipulating leverage, tempo, defender intent. He does this so efficiently that coverage dissolves without really any obvious tells. On film, corners often are in phase at the snap, but only to find Williams subtly changing stride length, selling vertical stems, or snapping off routes just enough to create a throwing window for the quarterback. And it comes out of nowhere. That sudden but quiet separation is what makes him feel invisible pre-break and uncovered post-break. And as a phantom, Williams consistently vanishes into zone voids. He reappears in windows. You see what I'm saying here? It is phantom ghosty-ish. Phantom ghost-esque type of movement on the field. But yet the quarterbacks are trusting instinctively. Great spatial awareness allows them to throttle down between linebackers, widen safety with eyes and shoulder discipline, slide laterally just outside the defender's frame. There's no wasted movement, extra steps, there's no extra tip, there's no tips in the route, so defenders don't get early triggers. By the time they react, their route is already won. Again, that truly cements a phantom tag, is how repeatable this trait is. It doesn't matter where he's aligning, what the route is, the down, the distance, time of the game. He has generated separation independent of the matchup quality or the offensive consistency. He was consistent around inconsistency. Press, off, man, zone, didn't matter. His releases are clean. His breaks are sudden. And his pacing forces defenders to guess. He isn't flashy. It's just how he wins, which is precisely the point. The separation happens quietly, efficiently, and consistently. For an offensive like New England, built on timing, intermediate efficiency, having a guy like this is invaluable. Williams doesn't need to be featured to be an impact on the game. He simply just appears on third down, or in the red area, or just on critical drives, and just leaving defenders searching for where the separation actually happened. Now, he's not perfect. Again, kind of as a receiver, you're 5'11", 190. The size, the physicality limitations. He's not like a boundary X. He can be put out there. You can put him against somebody. So he's not limited to the inside. He's not going to excel out there. So he's more effective inside than on like press to sideline jump balls or against heavier press coverage. And that's okay. You have guys that handle that, right? He is an explosive deep threat. I would say he has that, but it's not going to be straight line, just, throw the ball, not a true speed burner. So although he can win on the route, timing wise, it might not always, match up. Blocking, physical route challenges, I guess. I saw some blocking from him. It's there, but it's again like a 5'11", 190 blocking. He's not weak. And he also doesn't really have, his yak is impressive from his footwork and his speed, but, he's not exactly just plowing through, tackles. So maybe he's there at day 2. The valuation's just too good to pass by. He's just that cluster of guys that I really like between, fringe first rounder to like 50, 60. That's where he's dropping in for me. I don't know if the Patriots can, hold their breath and get him at 60, but if they do, and they're happy with whatever they got in the first round or whatever's going on or how the board's developing, I would have no problem with them grabbing him. So what's his comp? Maybe like a Khalil Shakir, Jaden Reed, Christian Kirk, Parker Washington style. One of those 4. But a little bit, again, working more from the slot, a little more, but it's chain mover, third down wide receiver, and he's going to have some special teams value for you. Now, you're probably thinking, we already have all these, you have Diggs, you have, Pop, you have Chisholm. I don't know how long you have Diggs. Pop is great. He's got some gadgety side to him. I think he can be used a little bit better next year. But, when you're doing so well with Mac Hollins and Booty and Diggs, the offense was kind of saturated. I'm sure Pop could have had some better performances here and there, but he was getting open enough. It's just usage and trying to get the offense and getting everything to work together and having May identify that. And Chisholm being a little bit more sturdy, bigger dude. Kyle Williams, I like him as gadgety use, but that's about it. If they bring back Hollins, they got Booty, and they have Kyle Williams. I actually kind of think the X is more saturated than the slot. That would give you Antonio Williams and Diggs kind of flop around at the Z. I think there's an opportunity there. And you could be a really great understudy for Diggs. Because honestly, at this point, you can't say neither Pop or Chisholm matches up, traits-wise to Diggs, whereas I think Antonio Williams kind of does, especially how Diggs works out of the slot. I'm not saying this is the primary target for the offseason. Maybe they can go find a veteran X that they can throw in there. It would, once again, make the wide receiver room a little bit more crowded. At some point, you got to find somebody that's, more than Diggs that can kind of handle the short and intermediate routes that can get a little bit more yak out of the situation. And I think Antonio can do that for you because he's polished. He's a good cerebral route runner, proven college production, reliable hands, and again, creates space through craft rather than just pure athletic dominance. High IQ receiver, chain converter, and again, special teams upside. So for me, if you can find him at some point in day 2, there's going to be a valuation where I think the Patriots are probably going to say it's too good to pass up. Hopefully he's still on the board. Anyway, what do you guys think of Antonio? Do you think the Patriots should go after him? If so, when? Let me know in the comment section below. If you guys like this content, please like and subscribe.